welcome to Cat the Minion YouTube channel. My name is Theresa, but you can call me Cat. Hopefully you can hear me alright over the much necessary air. It's very warm and it's like 110% humidity here. I'm doing a different method for my weekend pickup pile. I'm only using the Gilded Reverie Lenormand. I didn't dig out the book. Hopefully I won't feel like I need it. I wanted more practice with it. But also, the way the Lenormand reads, it likes to depend on the other cards around it. So each stack, unusually for my weekend pickup piles, has the same number of cards and uses the same deck. So each of them is going to be a little 9-card grid. And using the same deck also sort of ensures that the messages aren't going to be identical. Although depending on how it comes up, we'll see. So for the markers, I have a little bitty Hello Kitty. Faces. Let me see if I can get that better on my hand. Maybe. Oh, hang on. If I hold it on something flat. There. Nope. I just want to see if that comes in better at all. She doesn't have a face. I found her in a gas station parking lot. And I have a turtle bronze, I think it's brass. A little bit of red nail polish on it. It actually has a layer of clear nail polish on it. I've had this for probably at least 30 years. And then I have a Jade Buddha here. Hold anything up for shit today. A Jade Buddha. Can't really discern the details that much, but there he is. I don't know how long I've had this. It used to be a necklace, but the little metal thing fell out of his head. So he's just a little figurine now. Okay. I don't know how long I've had this, but at least 20 years. And Hello Kitty, not quite as long. Okay. Apparently also used to be a necklace because she has a hole in her head. Or a charm of some sort. Okay. I think we're going to start with Hello Kitty. Hopefully this will be a serviceable reading. I don't know why I'm so anxious about this. Still don't like that place. So, not all. Okay, I'm gonna move this up. I always forget that the cards are longer than they are wide. Thought about putting down a tarot cloth, but it's required too much effort in the humidity. I was not about that lifestyle right now. Hello, kitty. God damn it, it's still not in the frame. Okay, there we go. Now we're in business. I'm checking. It's kind of roughly in focus. $29, the regular woman inverted. The Mask, 40. Hopefully I'm giving these the right names. I don't think I know this whole deck yet. 16, the star, inverted. Oh wow, the sunshine is breaking through. Outside anyway. 34, so there's fishies on here. I'm not sure what that is. I'm gonna have to look it up. Get the book. The book. Water. What is that? 34. Fishes. Oh, it is called fish. Okay. So fish. Fish. No touch out of fishy. Oh, sorry. I looked at it the wrong way. So this is the stork. Oh, this was inverted. Okay, so we have the storks. Massive stork. 17. The house, number 4, inverted. Sort of like a toadstoolish fantasy kind of house. So this is the alternate man. 28. Or is he? Yeah. He's got the Mars symbol on him and his chest is bare. The alternate woman has a bare chest with a necklace as well. So he's the male symbol. Inverted. I'm not going to worry about what it relates to the regular tarot deck. So we have the tree inverted. Number 5. And we have the messenger here. Or is it just message? Let me see. So one of the... I don't know why I'm confused about that all of a sudden. Oh, the rider. Okay, so it's a messenger, but it's the rider. Interesting. So getting this idea of like rider wait, which is like the basic tarot, but also like waiting for a message. Waiting for Godot. 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 I gotta close my sheet over here. I'm getting too much sun glare. Is that... Oh, that is actually better. Okay. Didn't see anything. Okay. Lean way over to see these. Okay, so the man and the woman are both inverted. Let's look at the fish. I just want to read what the fish is to know what's going on between the man and the woman. 34. This is why I need to practice the Lenormand, because I haven't used it that much. We're having trouble making something more of the relationship between us. Now, it doesn't have to be a man and a woman. It's the masculine and feminine energy. Usually in a relationship, one person tends to skew a little more masculine and the other a little more feminine, or light and dark, or whatever. These are representative of different polarities that when you come together in a relationship, you have some sort of balance. So even if you're asexual and you end up with someone else who is asexual, there's going to be some sort of polarity, whether it's masculine or feminine or not, between the two of you. So if you're more in tune with jewelry and robes, this is your card. If the number 28 appeals to you more than the number 29, right? 10 and 11. If you're more interested in roses and hanging by the window, then that's the card for you. Otherwise, it would be masculine, feminine, male, female, and so on. They're just different versions of polarity, duality. And one of the themes lately in readings that I've been getting is that there's communication between the polarities. But here, with the fish representing some kind of flow, expansion, abundance, and so on here, there's this idea that there's something lacking in between the two, and it's like the lack has to do with, like, there isn't some kind of ability to break away from ingrained patterns, right? There's patterns in play where the duality is not being joined in the middle, where everyone is sort of wearing a mask and not expressing their true selves. This is the pattern that they're stuck in over and over again. I'm not going to fully open up to somebody. I'm going to stifle the abundance of the natural flow between the natural feedback loop between the polarities that causes movement. And in that way, there's no growth. Now, what's interesting is that there's sort of like a bridge between worlds. We have this sort of underworld, the middle world of the earth, and then this cerebral world. So we're dealing with emotions and reality and head, like your own mental issues, like things that in your mind that prevent you from creating this abundant flow. Thing like your own mental prison that holds you back. So in this same thing where everything's just the same as it always is, I noticed that there's a 3 here, 34, 17 is half of 34, and then we have the 4 by itself over here. So let me see what the 3 card is in this. The 3 is the ship, so it says, I take you on a vacation or a business trip. You will need a suitcase for where we are going. Distance is what I'm known for. I'm constantly in motion. So the way to shift out of this lack from just doing the same thing over and over again in order to create a new foundation where the masculine and feminine, or whichever polarity you might be thinking, these two people on this sort of opposite spectrum, the way for them to end up in a good foundation with each other, notice 4 comes from 40 as well. This idea of 0, which is sort of like 0 point, bringing everything together. Notice 4 times 10, 2 and 8, 10, 40. And then 11 is like a universal timing and also twin flame number, if that's applicable. But then there's a 1 here, the rider, which would indicate like a single person doing that ship type movement. But what happens is that, like, the ship goes over the waters, it travels over the fish, right? There's some kind of emotional bridge that has to happen. And the way that these cards are set up, it looks like this masculine energy, or whichever one it's representing, is going to be the one to come up here. Notice 4 and 1 is 5, and then doubled is the 10. 4 times 7 but there isn't this. Oh, okay, 7, 16 over here. But then I see 10 plus 1 is 11, so in order to attain this number on the female card, he has to do the rider thing and come in over the rainbow, which is in the tree card, literally over the ground. Some sort of bridging the gap and anchoring their communication in the material world. Now the star here, 16 in this deck. Let me just skim that because my brain is shouting Aquarius because that's what it is in the regular deck. 16. Guidance and healing. Reassurance, inspiration, a new path for exploration that ties into that 0 point energy. Okay, so this is like my stars aren't aligning. I need navigation for this trip. Like, how am I going to get there? But it's also inverted. So what's happening here is that everything is kind of hanging in the balance. I'm also getting this idea of the dog days of summer with Sirius, this huge star creating a shift in energy, because there's a lot going on with Mars energy here as well. This idea of, I just got your head up your ass. That it doesn't mean that this person has their head up their ass and they're wrong and they're a piece of crap. It just is a kind of a cheeky way of puns. Cheeky. It's a cheeky way of describing trying to get through the ego, because the ego is the mask and it likes to feed off of things like a great maw feeding off of the status quo. I need to start a new section, I think, or I'm gonna forget where I'm at. I don't want to have that cut off when I'm in a rhythm. So the ego is holding all this in play, and it's not just for this masculine energy here. This feminine energy is sort of like her ego is interested in fantasy and detachment in some way. Which is what she has to struggle with during the Mars and Aries, like, ego last showdown energy that we're in right now. So I have 2 rainbows, I have stars, the sun is coming up in this card. And there's just turned storm clouds gather, and I know that's a song, but I can never place where it is. I don't know if it's Ava Cassidy or what. Alright, so let me skim the rider here, because I think this is the ultimate turning point. Right? It's like, this is like the wheel, and now we're on top of it. It's like this whole representation is like this. Like, this is the wheel in the sky as well, and we're hitting a critical timing where things are shifting. Right, this is all about getting that feedback loop and steady flow of open and abundant interaction with your other polarity, your counterpart, your lover, your twin flame, or whoever it is. Okay, so I might come to visit or bring you some changes. I'm fast and always on the move. Okay. Now these cards next to it are not negative, but they're just in kind of a holding position. I'm just skimming this, hold on. Okay, Okay, so this is the carousel is the ideal metaphor, as this card is a new cycle being initiated in an ending of the old state. So everything else here is basically the old state. The status quo. Let me see what 18 is in this deck here. 18. I think is it? Oh, 18 is the dog, which has to do with loyalty and friendship. Oh, it says this card in close proximity to the man or the lady is quite reassuring in their intention, right? So the message is sort of coming in, overcoming the same old is going to create an abundance, because there's going to be this sort of renewed loyalty to each other where your egos aren't going to be like in traction. I don't know why traction is the right word, but contention. Alright, so the ups and downs of the carousel also symbolize the magical flight that powers this messenger to its destination. Now there's a 1 on here in my music deck. This is a very similar image, is the Ace of Wands. But it's also the wheel, and I already associated it with the wheel, not only because of the circle here and here, but also because it's an arc. The rider symbolically reflects the pace and speed of information by which our lives are increasingly affected. Right, so there's this element of speed, of a rapid shift out of this kind of maligned and like emptiness, where everything is set up for these people to be together, but there just needs a little bit of like bridging the gap in the material world through like a change in the tune, like related to like harmony, right? So there's a shift and everything's set up to flip the cards the other way so that they'll be how they need to be. Quick shift. Flip the script. Start the new chapter. Get to the 0 point. The collapse of, and then the expansion into the other side of the polarity, from the lack ego and the false front and the lack of growth and my stars aren't aligned and my house keeps crumbling, into this, we're building a strong and loyal relationship with each other. We feel good. Everything is like we're getting growth. We feel like the stars are shining upon us and we're able to have this flow of communication where we're not fighting each other, but we're growing and learning from each other. Okay? So, hello, kitty. Dogs and cats living together in peace and harmony. Okay. I'm going to start another section. Check my thing again here. Okay. So we're doing this turtle here. But I just heard, in my head, there's a song by Janis Joplin called Turtle Blues, and one of the lyrics is, like a turtle. So, there it is. I need to set it down on something dark so it's easy to see on my table. Put it here on the lens cap so it's visible. That's pretty good. Okay. Really random. I don't know which way these cards are. Does that feel right? These in the wrong place. Okay. Okay, apparently that one has to turn over. Is that the only one? Oh, I just heard Melissa Etheridge is the only one. 'Cause I'm the only one that walked across the fire for you. I think these are fine. Just move them over so they're... It keeps wanting to flip around. Oh, it's so pretty. Reminds me of the hall in Clue. Mm-hmm. Can't get it. Just want to make sure I know. Oh, okay, it is the scythe. Scythe number 10, inverted. Hey! Hey, girl, I want you to know. Billy Joel. I actually don't like that song. Or, yeah, I just don't like that song. Okay. 35, the anchor. So if 39, the dice. I think it's just called the dice. Let me check. Dice, dice, baby. Yeah, it's just dice. Dicing, mincing. So 12. So this is the regular birds card, but it's inverted. House of Gossip. Right? It's birds, right? Blades! Okay. And the Schwanz, 24, inverted. I feel like I always get that card inverted, but maybe not. Oh, 12 and 24 next to each other. Interesting. Interesting, but stop it. Okay, it's called Heart. Heart, because of the heart in the middle. Just mushed right in there. Number 6. Is it called Storm? Let's see. Oh, it's just called Clouds. Okay, so it's Clouds. Was that? Yeah, that was inverted as well. 6, 12, 24. Okay. 41 inverted. Well. Say that in Ronald Reagan voice. Well. $18, the dog inverted, so I had a reference to that card in the last stack, the Hello Kitty. And 9, which I think is just flowers, because there's one that's lilies too. Yeah, this one's just flowers. Roses? So I saw roses oh, it was in the last deck, okay. The lady was holding roses in the last pile. So that was inverted as well. 9 and 18. Okay, so that's doubling. 9, 10. 35. 7 times 5. 8. Wait. Yeah, that's 8. And then 12, which breaks down to 3 again. Okay, so 8, 10, 12. 6, 12, 24. 12. 6, 6, 3. 3, 3, 6, 6. 41. 39 are only 2 apart. That's interesting. 35. So 8. 8, 9, 10. 5, 6. There's no 7? That's weird, there's no 7. Okay. It's 5. Okay, so I need to see what 7 is. Okay, so 7 is the snake. Oh, okay. So what's missing in this spread is the number 7. Watch out for a superficial person, one who is prone to be malicious, particularly when combined with the dog. Quite literally a bitchy best friend meaning you harm. Although this is inverted. So I'm not sure what that means just yet. Duplicitous behavior in a two-faced person could be a problem, right? Because there's a lack of loyalty here with the dog inverted. Be wary and watch where you tread. Okay. Well, 5 is the tree, but here's the well. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna read the scythe. The last spread, I like really like whipped right through it. These cards are ones that I've not seen that much or like at all yet. Oh, okay. So here it says, so this is a biblical quote, but it's actually this, it was turned into the song Turn, Turn, Turn that was popularly sung by the Birds. The Birds. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the sun. One of the lyrics is, there a time for peace, I swear it. So I can bring good harvest or danger. I just heard danger noodle, which is snake. So what's being cut? So we're cutting anchor. We're going to be doing some movement, or there's a lack of cutting. You don't know when it's time to move. Okay. You're not in tune with your heart because you've been, it's like once bitten, twice shy. This shadowy snake character has clouded your ability to center in your own heart space, and their bullshit is causing you to not know when to shift. But here there's this idea of the resolution to the problem is probably going to be like a gamble on your part. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I need to throw down. It's like somehow, so I'm just gonna try something because this shit ain't working. Let me skim number 6. Clouds. It's sort of like the scene on the clouds card is like a pan up from the anchor card. A little bit of horse latitudes, right? You're just kind of in mute nostril agony. So let me get 6. Yeah, conflicts and doubts. Okay. Foreboding and change. Interesting. So the darkness is pointing towards this gamble. And the lightness is pointing towards this. Let's see. Because this is indicating like a clearing of confusion in some way. And notice that the 6 and the 9 are kind of flipping each other around. So let me check the flowers. And then I'm going to have to check that too. 3, 6, 9. The goose drank wine. The monkey chewed tobacco on the streetcar line. The line broke and the monkey went choke, and they all went to heaven in a little row boat. And what does a boat have? An anchor. And this is kind of the well. You would sort of drop the bucket, and I feel like having it inverted is like dumping out the bucket in the same way as pulling up an anchor would be the opposite of that movement. You have to reel it in. Where the hell was I? Flowers. So this is like a false gift, right? It's like hollow compliments. You're the snake that's in disguise, right? A little bit of Elvis. You're the devil in disguise. In the skies. Excuse me, while I kiss the sky. So what the hell? I need to finish reading this. I feel like this part of this reading is confusing me in much the same way that whoever's been dicked around by the snake has been confused and clouded as to what's going on. Let's look at the idea of fair weather friend as well. And that eventually they'll reap what they sow, but it's not happening yet. Okay. Let me check out my time. It's going to be exciting when I actually learn this deck so that I don't have to keep looking stuff up, but I think I'm doing alright. 39, okay. Leap of faith. So I need to see what the anchor does. Oh. Okay, so peace of mind. Okay, so it has to do with unshackling from this snake person's energy. Oh my god. It says under the description, the trustworthy dog, 18, is soon distracted from his duties by the rolling dice nearby. This would indicate a fair weather friend indeed, which is exactly what I said a couple minutes ago. Okay. It can also indicate actual, like, literal gambling, but it could also be, like, this idea of trying something new and like a leap of faith, promise of future change. So the idea is that there's this leap of faith going on in order to cut ties with this fair weather friend here. I know that, yeah. You said you were giving me something, but your gifts were made of caca. It's like taking that leap in the darkness, like knowing that the further you fly in your fall, the more into the sunshine you'll get. What's my time here? 3 minutes. Okay, maybe. So let me check the well here. If you look intently into the depths of my darkness, you may see your true thoughts reflected and your secret wishes revealed. Your wishes will only be granted if you dig deep and work hard. Okay. You're only scratching the surface. It says the rope entering the well represents the importance of keeping one's center, which is that, like, it's usually the solar chakra, but here it's like the heart center. It says, at a deeper level, the well card could be a sign that you've hit rock bottom and now the only way is up. Right? So the well is inverted because you're climbing back up out of the hole with this tossing it. Ooh! Okay. Spider-Man, Batman, throwing a grappling hook and going to a different place. You're like, it's like, I'm going to Ireland, I'm getting out of the snake pit. Like, this is bullshit. Grappling hook realness. And the 41 breaking down to a 5 is also a shift and a pivot. Why is that? Looks like it's not in focus. Well, I guess it's alright. That's why I have glasses, because I can't fucking see. Am I done reading that? Oh wait, no, I'm on a different page. I'm gonna start another segment. Gonna run out of time and forget about it. I'm still skimming this. It has to do with wishes. It says be prepared to work hard for what you want, which came up in another thing as well. The goal that is attainable but still requires more effort. It may encourage you to explore untapped resources. It may also caution you against draining all your resources at once. So it has to do with, like, reestablishing command over your own energy, because the snake person with their Trojan horse gifting kind of situation, really just leeching off your energy. So let me just skim the birds here real quick. It's interesting that the birds and the swans are next to each other. Okay. So this is, it's like, this is kind of like cutting ties and blocking that snake person, as well as that link to timing. Did I read the site? I don't remember. Yeah, I did read that, okay. Alright, so let me just check out the swans, and then I think that will do nicely. Swans 24. It's called Heart, but I don't know, I just call it the Swans, whatever. I'm just skimming it. Yeah, it's like you've broken my heart with your sleazy ways. Yeah. Unhappiness. I've let you... Like, I've let you cheat me emotionally and potentially otherwise with your crap, and ready to cut you out and get on with it. Now, notice that the turtle is that slow and steady wins the race. But they're also in this, they're able to be on land and in fact would lay their eggs in the land, right? So there's this idea of new endeavors are grounded. And the idea of being able to go deep into the emotions. Have a thick skin. But still very tender. You're sort of, I want to say like hardened by time, but it's not in a, like a, I hate everybody kind of way. But there's other things to do with turtles as well. In terms of spiritually, animally kind of things, and could easily be looked up. I know there's a turtle on the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck, but I'm only doing Lenormand right now, so I'm not gonna dig it out. But there's this idea of sort of like bridging the gap between emotion and reality in a very solid and real way. Again, also, it's like slow and steady wins the race. The hare is the snake. They're like, you know, kind of ribbing and dissing the turtle, thinking they've got everything handled. But when the turtle really puts their mind, that effort, into what they want for their life, they'll come out ahead. Alright. The fables. Okay. Let me get a sip of water and then do the Buddha. And now the Jade Buddha. I don't know what kind of jade it is. Probably the cheaper kind. It's definitely a piece of rock. Rock and roll, man. To make sure I don't feel like any of these need to be moved. It feels pretty solid. Okay. 32 the moon. Inverted. $19. I believe that's the tower in this deck. Yeah, it's a tower. Bureaucracy. So here's the owls. This is the alternate birds card. They're a little less gossipy, more serious business, messages from your guides kind of stuff. 3, 5, why did I say 7? 10. Okay. So we have the ring, 25 inverted. You know, Beyonce, if you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. I also just got Notorious with the moon card. So here's the compass, 42. 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. Oh, there's the 8. 26. The book. Livre and let die. 23. I believe that's called mice. Mice. The last pile, it was dice, and now it's mice. Like, A Tale of Two Bad Mice. One of them's Hunka Munka, and I don't know if the other one had a name, so I can't remember it. 43. Is it the labyrinth? What is that? 43. Yeah, it is labyrinth. Okay. A little bit of The Shining here. Okay. And we have 13, and I believe that's the child. I don't have space in my chest right now, it's compressed. Yeah, it's just called child. The games there. There's a book, there's a tower, there's blocks, but they could be considered dice, and there was an M on one of them, and there's a doll and a dreidel, or no, not a dreidel, a top. And a ball. Okay. Candy-coated clown they call the Sandman. Whispers in your ear every night. Just to sprinkle stardust and to whisper. Go to sleep, everything is alright. 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're missing a number 9. So what's number 9? I think I had it already. Yeah, 9 is the flowers. So what's missing from the spread that's a background energy. Beauty and a happy face is what I bring. My battery's gonna crap out. I am the gift that warms your heart. I am your recovery and your well-being. Oh, now I'm getting Alanis Morissette. That song. There's a song on the MTV Unplugged live album where it's like I am your something and you're something. Oh wait, no, wait, maybe it's not that one. No, it's Still. It's not on the album at all. It just sounds similar. I think it's Still from Dogma. I think that's the one. Pretty sure, anyway. Alright, I had to change the battery, so I looked up that song. One of the lyrics is, I am your joy and your regret. I am your fury and your elation. And I can't remember the rest right now, and I can't read it out because the computer's over there. Okay, so the moon inverted. What was, wait. It's 9. Flowers, okay. It says, combined with the tower, it might mean a more unwelcome invitation to a hospital appointment. The tower has to do with bureaucracy. But I kind of feel like it has to do with, like, a little bit with taking down the patriarchy. So let's look at the tower here. Oh, corporations, organizations, institutions, and governments. Boundaries and restrictions. Ambitions and expectations. Higher education. Now, the lyrics in Still have to do with people doing all kinds of shitty stuff, like mismanagement and ignoring children. And let's just check in with mice for a second. Loss, theft, destruction, decay, stress and anxiety, worry in society, nuisance, pest, sickness. Gradual destruction of possessions and resources. No regard for ownership, rapidly gnawing away while no one is looking. Loss and theft. It's sort of a gradual thing where, like, someone skims pennies off of thousands of accounts and pretty soon they've stolen $1 million and made off with the family jewels. So this idea is like you've done all this crappy stuff, but there's still love in the world for it. Or that I will speak to the part of your soul. I will bring words to the part of your soul that still understands the message of love in the universe. I mean, this is pretty fucked up. There's... let me get into the moon here, because this is going to be important. 32. I'm getting really hungry. Because I only had a little tiny thing of applesauce to eat. Yeah, lack of imagination and creativity, just theft. Influence of the waters, admiration, right? So lack of admiration and honor. The moon wants to be famous, but here we have, like I said, notorious. Notorious, political, governmental, sleazeballs. It's like, no offense to real mice who just happen to exist, but they represent an energy that's a little bit sketch. Even in the Wild Unknown Tarot, as I mentioned, the oracle in relation to the turtle, there's a mouse on the 4 of Cups crawling across the cups. It's like, I don't like it. I'm gonna dump it out. psychic abilities too. It's like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Cycles of nature. Let's see. So it says, below the moon is a clockwork orrery, which is the word that I can never remember. It's like the Antikythera mechanism down here. You hear weird grumblings. It's my stomach being angry at me. Oh. The nature of the moon is affected by the mechanics of the universe. Right? And here's the compass. This is also the mechanics of the universe. You can only go so far in one direction with this sort of destructive takedown. You can only go so far in one direction before there's a quagmire. Right? These people are going to be stuck in the web of their own making, essentially. Right? So here, it's like these people are acting without any emotion whatsoever. They're just sort of mechanical. And even the book has a mechanism on it. We're not going to let you in on what we're doing. Yeah, notoriety. Go. So let me get back to the ring, because that's... I just had this idea of, like, sabotage. Like a wrench. Throwing a wrench in there. The ring. Ow, leaning over too much. Precious item. Contract and promise in partnerships and ventures. Right? They're not honoring a contract with society, basically. Completion. Symbol of completion. Okay, so it's got a ruby in it. It says, in crystal lore, the ruby is a guarantee of economic stability. In some cultures, it was buried in the foundations of buildings to assure good fortune. An object of value, right? So everything that they've built, fucking worthless. Fucking worthless, motherfucker! Okay, so let me check out the owls. The howls. I don't think it says very much on here. Owls may be sharing their wisdom or urging you to listen to what your elders or learned friends may have to say. Look for other important signs around you, right? So the owls are saying, like, we're going to crack open their book of secrets here. This is what we're talking about. Your intuition is telling you that the situation is foobar. There's like a direction, right? 42, 6 times 2, 12, right? So the owls are kind of ramping up on pushing consciousness in a new direction. And then 12, 13, the child. Right, this is like, you're not going to pull the wolves over the eyes of the people anymore. You thought we were children. Just sort of reading into your fantasies of what you're doing. Like, oh yes, society is great. We're all living in a castle. You know, it's like that bread and circuses kind of energy. But here it's like, hang on a goddamn second. It's sort of like when you the idea of becoming an adult is I am a kid, I go to school, I read, and then I grown and I know stuff. And here it's like they're keeping you in a perpetual child state where we can steal the cookies out of the coffer and you still think everything's fun and games because we're going to keep you in this convoluted mess of bullshit and keep you satiated with the TV and the reality and the celebrities and all that. But the shift is that like society is catching on. They're like, it's like great spontaneous knowledge where you go from this sort of novice state to like, hang on a goddamn second there. It's like you're like, I don't have to do what you say if you're destroying everything that we need in our world. It's a little bit it sounds a little bit dramatic, but it's this idea of I choose to, I don't know, I'm getting like JoJo Siwa as an example, right? She behaves in a manner of somebody who's more like 12 or 13, even though she's like 16 or 17. But the issue is that a lot of times someone who's 16 or 17 is like over-sexualized and forced into adulthood. But what that's not really, that's sort of part of the decay here. But what I really mean is that she's sort of presenting as someone who's very childlike. But you would expect that there would be an ability to go from this sort of good time childlike presentation to someone who's suddenly like calculating and like, no, I'm not gonna take your bullshit. I don't like her, and I feel weird using that as an example, but that was presented to me in my head. But oh, I know. In the movie Born Yesterday, came out in the early 90s, right? Melanie Griffith, John Goodman, and Don Johnson. She's like a trophy girlfriend. And John Goodman's in this industry, he's been really sleazy, and he's put all his companies in her name so that they can't sue him and everything. And she's just sort of like, la la la, and sort of dim, like a blonde bimbo type. But she goes to an interview with Don Johnson, who's like a reporter, and he's trying to write like a kind of like a smear piece about the John Goodman character, who's kind of a douche in the movie. And his interaction with Melanie's character is that she, over a period of probably a few months, she starts educating herself, and then the sort of climax of the movie is that she's like, wait a minute, you're using me, you know what? I'm in charge now. I'm not gonna be some piece of meat for you. Like, I know what's the deal. You don't have this power over me. Like, it's like, I'm not gonna do what you tell me, you do what I'm telling you. Like, I'm the boss of me. That's the kind of like glow up that's these cards are representing. So this could be it could be a personal situation where someone's been heavily controlled by someone else, dominating their finances, the structure of their world, what they're doing. And it could be, like a divorce proceeding where the other person is extremely like greedy and narcissistic and demanding and egotistical and all those kinds of things. But the thing is, it's like whoever's on the receiving end of this. It's like, you're not a baby, you're not a victim. You've just woken up to a system that's been creeping in for a long time. It's like the thing where if you put a frog in boiling water, it'll hop right out. But if you put it in, you know, just water and then slowly boil it, the frog will die in the water. And we're getting to a point where, like, hey, this water's getting kind of toasty, isn't it? So it's like, you know, if you give a mouse a cookie, give them an inch, they'll take a mile. Slowly eating away until you're in the burning house and you're like, this is fine. And then you're like, wait a minute. The roof is on fire. This is not what I wanted. And so this kind of like eureka moment, like cracking an egg on your head feeling and having it like trickle down your brain is very much relevant to what's going on right now. So take it as a societal thing, or in the microcosm, it might be somebody's personal life and they just need that encouragement that the system or whoever is doing this isn't going to get away with it. I also just had a little flash of Britney Spears. She's kind of in this situation. Alright, so that is my little Lenormand practice card, no, what is it? Weekend pick-a-pile. There we go. As if I knew words. Alright, so I need to move the thing and hopefully be able to still see what I'm doing. Sides. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna move the camera. I have 2 minutes left to get all this. No. Okay, there we go, as if I knew what part of the thing to move. Okay, it's kind of mostly in focus. But nope. Okay. Alright, if you want to get a personal reading, you can email me, thecatcameback@camp@gmail.com. I can email you the list of readings that I offer and how much they cost. I have a help me, I can't afford a reading, it's $9, and then the other ones are more in the $30 to $40 range. Some of them a little bit higher. I have actual art items for sale. I have prints and merch. I have 2 coloring books. I have this thing right here, poetry. It's also on Kindle. And a couple other things floating around in there. I've got a template for one of these. You can get the template if you want to burn your own hands with the hot glue. Or you can buy these and other made-to-order items in my catalog here. I have some drawings. They're mostly psychedelic that are in there right now. I add some other ones at a later date. So, oh my god. No. Okay, so all of this, all of the links to that and the information about the tarot readings is going to be available if you email me. I'll just send you that, or if you want to look at it on your own, go to the description box of my infomercial video, which is going to be linked below this one, and then you can check out the playlists, my playlist, and you'll see the readings available playlist, or readings for sale, or whatever I titled it. So there's the playlists with the samples, there's the description box of the infomercial video, and you can email me. If you want to donate to my channel, Energy Exchange, you can hit that tip jar, paypal.me/cattheminion. I also have Venmo and Cash App, so if you want to throw me $1, $40,000, just kidding, $1, $5, any amount that floats your goat, I would much appreciate it and love you forever. It'll help keep the channel going, can create more interesting videos like this for everybody. Alright, so everybody stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.